Boss Gator, what's up, my man?
I tell you what, baby. I tell you, man, I feel so good. I'm so happy right now. I don't know what to do, baby, because Boss Gator is getting signed, baby. Woo!
Hey, 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 they thirsty for the Mullinade. I mean, college game day just following the Gators around. This is their third visit. They finally landed on campus, and there's only, I mean, I can't think of a better venue on the globe than the Swamp, man. You see pictures of that place, it's just amazing. It ain't a lot of steel, just a lot of orange and blue, man. Whoever designed that place deserves a lot of credit, but we know who named it, don't we?
Yeah, man. I tell you, what, last night HBO that was a great special, man. That was a great special last night. I tell you what, I'm just so excited. I don't know what to do. Listen, I think this is a great matchup. I think the schedule. I'm telling you, Lance from Jasper, Tennessee, put your seatbelt on, baby, because the schedule lays out perfect. The schedule lays out perfect. See, we're gonna beat Auburn. Then they gonna say Auburn and wasn't all that. They gonna say Auburn wasn't as good as we thought. Then they gonna pick LSU to beat us. We gonna go in Baton Rouge and we gonna get they behind.
You better believe it.
I'm telling you, man, the schedule sets out perfect. I believe that we should be able to spread Auburn out. I believe that we got the weapons on the outside. I I, I believe that our defense is legit enough. Uh, See, people haven't seen our full defense.
That's true.
And when our full defense come back, you got to believe that that Grantham had kind of watered down some of his blitz packages because we had freshmen on out there on the island.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
Yes, so
Look,
I'm telling you, I think that Grenard is much better with what's the name?
them Auburn boys. Yeah, I can't remember the name. I don't start to watch the name, but they say he's a household name, but he ain't live in my household. I never heard of the guy. But let me see. He must have a lot of stars beside his name. That's why people know his name.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
I'm with you on that, boss. I mean, I'm with you. I think call trash accuracy on third down. I mean, if you do get third down, I just say I agree with you. I think Florida. I mean, it's kind of like Mississippi State game. You might not be able to run the ball, but you get to our guys with get the ball. You always have to catch and make up for the running. You'll see plenty of running. He won't be in the running game, but you'll see plenty of running because they'll be running downfield. We got some guys that can get the yak.
Yeah, yards after the catch, baby. And I tell you what, um, I'm looking to see all kind of trick plays. I'm looking to see all kind of variations. Yeah, I think you'll see a little of the pistol. I think you'll see a little bit of uh, uh, the I formation. You'll see some running out of the I formation.
I'll tell
You
you
can
what.
see that speed
I'll
pitch.
tell you what's going to beat Auburn. Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's the biggest mismatch on the field. I mean, you know we got it covered outside, but when you got this guy on the inside, I mean, it really opens up the outside receivers. And there ain't a safety or linebacker in the country that can cover Kyle Pitts, man. I mean, this guy's Shannon Sharp all over.
Yeah. I like the matchup. I like the matchup. I mean, we're not sleeping on Auburn. Auburn is going to be a legit.
No.
It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a slugfest. But I got them Gators coming out on top.
Yeah,
I really do.
Florida, listen, I told them on radio, this is the game Florida been waiting on. I mean, you talk about Miami all you want. You can talk about Kentucky. You talk about Tennessee. I mean, that's fine and dandy. But we're all humans. We all know those schools ain't what they were. Auburn, I mean, they went too long ago removed from the national championship. They always talking about the Iron Bowl, biggest game of the year. I mean, so I think this is a game the Florida Gators had circle, man. And I think this is why Dan Mullen came to Florida, coaching games like this, man.
Oh, definitely.
He been dying to play Auburn with this kind of talent. You know what I mean? And not to mention he beat them two of the last four times he played them with Mississippi State talent. So and you know what? In the last 5 years, Dan Mullen more games at Mississippi State than Gus Malzahn won at Auburn. So he just tells you right there he's a better coach with less talent. Only problem is the Gators got more talent than Auburn. I don't want to hear about recruiting, man. If you did a mock draft right now, there's no way in hell you're taking anybody on offense from Auburn over the Florida Gators. And when you get to defense, you might take one of their defensive linemen, but you ain't taking both of them. Cause we got that boy. We got that boy Z, Jabari Zoo nigga, and this boy's bad. You know, I mean, you called it last season, boss. You said it. He's better against the run. He's better at stopping the run than Polite. And this game's gonna come down to stopping the run. My key to the game, boss, is secondary, and it ain't the passing game. You got to support the run. Whoever secondary tackles the best is going to win the game, because missed tackles in this game are going to turn into touchdowns, and you really can't afford that. I like the way Florida's tackled this year. I just think we're tackling well. I really just think our defense is more equipped to handle their offense.
People have been scrutinizing our defense, but I mean, anybody that knows the Gator defense knows we've been banged up. Well, and I think they've been sitting them for this game, so I think that we'll look a lot faster on defense, and I think that our guys are ready to prove these opponents wrong, man. They got us all wrong. And so I'm telling you, it's great to be a Florida Gator. If you're going to chomp, you got to chomp right. You got to put the left over right, baby, and do it right. If you're going to chomp right. It's great to be a Florida Gator. And so I'm telling you, the swamp is going to be crazy. The Mullinade is crazy. And we got all kind of recruits there. We just fresh off of HBO. I'm telling you, man, Gainesville is where it's at.
You better believe it. Why do you think College Game Day come to town? Because we're the only thing to talk about.
I tell you what, I'm glad you're giving me props, Lance. You know I called out as a nigga over in the summer. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of bosses out there, but there's only one boss Gator. I'm nice to talk with you, Lance from Jackson, Tennessee, baby. How you say it? If you don't like my
peaches, don't shake my damn tree.
Have a good one, man.
Go Gators, man. You the best, boss. Break it down. Right. A lot of Gator fans in the world, but there's only one boss, and that's Boss Gator. Oh man, I know the fans really enjoy that guy. I had to get him on. Let's try something special right here. See if I can get y'all hooked up with a couple boys, Gator fans. See if we can get these boys down. That'd be hot. That'd be hot over there. Now would be a shot. Let's see if we can get a three-way going. Oh man. Yeah.
Hey,
my man, Lance and Jasper, how are you?
I'm all right, Bubba. How you doing?
Feeling good, man. Yeah, Boss Gator leading that off. I know you're one of the realest fans. I know you don't get too hot, too down. You keep it real. So tell me, what's your gut feeling about this game? 2 days away.
Oh man, I'm gonna be straight with you. Earlier during the week, I started thinking I would have told you that we're gonna lose by 14 points.
Damn.
I would have. Key to the game is our defense. If we're gonna play smart, hold our gaps, don't over pursue, and just play smart. I mean, they face that same offense every day at practice. It's just got different spokes in different places. That's all it is. It's a little bit of a movement. That's all it is. They just got to play smart, and we'll be fine. Offensive line, just like everybody else is saying, the offensive line is going against the best defense we got. I think to open up that passing game, we're going to do what we did last year against LSU. We're going to get that swing pass going, and that opened up our running game for us. You remember that game? Ryan caught the ball to swing pass, and him and Scarlett both had significant gains off of that play.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great point. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. Mississippi State game as well. The way he wore them defensive ends out. I mean, he knew there weren't no match, and those guys didn't have an impact. So them on as a play caller definitely helps you, and call trash accuracy really helps this team. I mean, one thing I like about the Gators, I mean, if you get down 2 scores, I mean, you're not really beat anymore. You can throw the ball now. But I would worry for Auburn, because it's kind of like when we had Franks. I mean, if you jump up on them 2 scores, you really mess their play caller up.
Yeah, I mean, Trask throws a very catchable ball. He lets the receivers make a play on that ball.
Right.
I mean, you notice that the receivers are making plays on the ball. I mean, he kind of scares me on that little quick screen there. He's not quick with it as Felipe is, but he throws a lot more catchable ball.
Right.
So, but like you said, I mean, his process speed is a lot better and decision making's better. So I
Yeah,
think, and I mean, like you said, I mean, he's not perfect. I mean, I think he's got to work on some
it's pretty
securing
close.
that ball, securing the ball security. I think is an issue with him, but we can win. We can still run the same offense, and the offense seems like the plays get off a lot faster. There's not like a wait there. It's a lot better flow to the offense within a minute.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, I'm gonna have to quit talking quarterbacks on this show. I gotta tell you, I never in my right mind thought Kyle Trask would ever start for the Florida Gators. I mean, I knew he was a damn good backup, and I've always said he better get used to holding clipboard because he's gonna be doing it for a long time in the NFL. I mean, that's a pretty damn good job in my opinion. Even though I meant it as a slap in the face. I mean, this kid's really showing me something. I mean, like I say, no quarterback's perfect. I mean, there's very few that are golden, especially in college. I mean, you just don't see perfect quarterbacks. Maybe even Tim Tebow wasn't perfect, but at the same time, Kyle Trask. I mean, just to be able to distribute the ball to different guys. I mean, getting the tight end ball, Kyle Pitts. I mean, to me, the biggest mismatch on the field is Kyle Pitts on both
Kyle
teams. I
Pitts
mean,
is bad boy.
I think Florida matches up well with Auburn. It's just about, like I said, the secondary is going to have to support the run. Sean Davis and the boys going to have to make some tackles in open space against Anthony Schwartz. I mean, and like you said, the gap integrity is really the key because that quarterback he's polished. I mean, he's a freshman, but he's polished. He really got a good mental clock in his head, and he feels pressure and he knows how to escape it. So really important that we don't get too ramped up because this is a big game. The play's gonna be rocking. You play discipline.
Yeah, we got to get this one. I mean, you got two big games back to back, LSU and Auburn.
Yeah.
So after this, and then you got Carolina. Carolina ain't gonna be no pushover. So these next 3 weeks are gonna be tough for the Mighty Gators. What I think. But like I said, earlier in the week, I probably told you that Gators gonna lose to Auburn, but well, it's going to be a tight game, I think. I think it's going to be a tight game, and it's going to be the small things. Are we going to tackle the ball? Are we going to tackle well? Are we going to catch the ball? I mean, it's just going to come down to the little things. And if we do the little things right, I think we'll be successful.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 17-16 in the fourth quarter. Gators score late, pull away 24-16. Kind of people who don't watch the game going to think it maybe wasn't the closest it looked by score, but this is I definitely think it's going to be a battle. I mean, Auburn. I mean, they. I mean, Carter kind of thinks that Florida's going to. This is a game Florida's been waiting for, and I just think they're going to seize the moment. I mean, every time we've been in the big stage, we really not stepped up. But again, it's the first time we've been at home with the big stage, so makes a difference. And you seen it against LSU last year, the home field when the home field's right, it makes a difference. And I can guarantee you that the kind of atmosphere you seen against LSU last year, you're going to see against Auburn Saturday afternoon for real. It's going to be real in the Ville. There ain't no doubt about it. And I'm talking about Gainesville.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we're going to be all right. I mean, like I said, the small things, we can take care of them, and we don't beat ourselves.
There's no doubt about it. Let's call it the quarterback, see if we can get a three-way going right here, see what we got. Y'all two be good together.
What's up, Lance?
How you doing, my friend? Jason, you still with us?
Hey, man, I'm excited.
What's up? No, hold on a second. Jason, you still with us? Oh, we might have lost Jason. No, let's see.
Oh, man.
How we doing?
You had a good call.
How you doing? Hold on a second. Let's see. Jason, you with us? I'm talk though. Don't worry about that. Let's see. You still there, Dustin? Quarterback.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah, I know. I thought I could three-way on here. It says I can, but it ain't letting me do it. Definitely not to get both of y'all on here at the same time, no doubt. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. It ain't gonna let me do it. I don't guess what. Damn, that's a bitch. Do it, but hey. Yeah. Hey, man. Give me. Let's merge these up. Let's see. Let's see. Where y'all at? Who we got right here?
Hey, Lance, it's Dustin.
Jason, you with us?
Yes, sir. For the season, for the Florida Gators,
Fuck.
man, I'm
Oh man, this ain't going well. Ain't going well.
Wow.
Man, it ain't going well. I thought I
a
could.
real matchup
I thought I could
with
hook y'all
talent.
up, but they ain't gonna let me. Hold on a second. I thought I could hook y'all up, man. They ain't gonna let me. I apologize, Gator Nation. Just an experiment. Let's get Jason Gator's final thoughts, and we'll call the quarterback up real quick. I do it again. I apologize for this, y'all. Thought I could do this. Not cooperate with me tonight. All right. Oh man. Oh, please forgive me, man. I thought I could merge y'all's call and get through. I've done it before. Probably just stone. Well, not stone, but probably just a little high. But give me your final thoughts, man. We'll get it. But yeah, I really like what you're saying, man. Because for the first time in a long time, I mean, we're thinking alike, and that there tells me we're gonna win.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to 24-21 Florida.
Hell yeah.
24-21. We're going to we'll hold on at the end there. Auburn will miss a field goal to tie it.
Damn. I like that. Tell me, real quick. I was thinking about 2001, man. I'll never forget that game, man. What about that field goal? During the ball, 49 yards. There's like hurricane weather, man. I mean, unbelievable winds. We were number one team in the country. Ernest Graham didn't play. I mean, Rex Gross on that ESPN night game. It just, oh man, that game still sticks with me, man. How about you, my friend? You remember that game?
Oh, yeah, Rex Grossman, Rex Grossman hit Jabari Gaffney, I believe, in that game for a touchdown. Yeah, the wind was blowing. There was gusts. That's a wind gust. Yeah. But he also remembered 06 year. We were undefeated. And, yeah, 06. Remember when we lost off? That was our loss right there against Auburn.
Yeah, that's right. On the road. Yeah, that 4th and 1 call, 4th and 1 play. I mean, controversial as ever, but you know, Chris Leak really, I don't. That's why I'm so excited to get Muschamp the way he shut down our offense both them years. We really thought we was gonna get something special with Muschamp, but we did. But I do want to thank Will Muschamp and Jim McElwain because you know everybody's got an opinion about them, but to me, they made all the right decisions, man. Everything they did was the right decision. I mean, they didn't make no mistakes. Because we're sitting here with damn old. So, to me, they made all the right decisions. I want to thank them both. Appreciate. I mean, really, just good work, boys. I mean, I really think Dan Mullen's gonna do special things with the Gators, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Florida Gators ranked number 1 because I believe we're gonna beat Auburn. And I think that momentum.
One game at a time.
Well, that's right. It is one game at a time. We're gonna beat Auburn, then you take this on the road. You beat LSU. I mean, you just go by resume. There's no way in hell you can't tell them the Gators are the number 1 team in the country.
I don't want to be number 1. We want to be number 1 at the end of the year. We don't want to be number 1 right now.
It's good to be number 1 every once in a while because it's easy to feel like number 2, my friend.
I'd rather just put us at 1 at the end of the year if that's where we're going to be. But we don't need to be 1 right now.
I wouldn't.
One week at a time.
I wasn't thinking national championship this year. I really wasn't. I figured we get to Atlanta, but I just figured Alabama with what they experienced in the national championship, their mental mindset and their talents is going to be hard to overcome. But you know, if we get there, you know, I ain't never doubt the Gators. That's why you play the game. But you're the man. You got to work Saturday. You gonna get to watch the game?
No, yeah, I'm gonna be watching the game Saturday.
All right, man. Well,
I'll be there.
Hit me up after the game if you can, man. I'd love to have you.
All right, man. We'll do it.
Thank you.
Take it easy, buddy. Later.
All right, let's get the quarterback on here, man. I do apologize to all y'all for this. Man, what a trip. What a trip.
What's up, Lance?
Oh man, hey man, I want to apologize to you for that. I was trying to get a 3 by going, it wouldn't work. I just want to let him get his final thoughts in, man. I do apologize for that. But what's up, my friend? You are the man. You can't do a show without a quarterback. So let's end this with a quarterback.
Yes, sir. Well, man, don't worry about it. I was listening to the YouTube, so
Man, I appreciate it.
I heard everything. But man, it's a big week. It's not only is it a big week, not only is it probably the biggest game on our schedule. I know that if we end up winning this game, the next game is the biggest game, and if we win that game, then the next game, so on and so forth. The games get bigger and bigger and bigger. If we come into Georgia undefeated, I mean, that game is going to be probably the biggest game in the last 10 years in Gator football history. I mean, think about it. But we can't really think about that one because we have to win this game to make that game relevant in the way that we want it to be. So speaking of this game, it's a huge game. It's a line of scrimmage game. We're going to see a very intriguing matchup between their defensive line and our offensive line. And the reason why that matchup is intriguing, it's not because I think our offensive line is better, but it's because I think we have the better coach and the better coaching staff. And I believe that the great equalizer in this game that will be a line of scrimmage game is how our coaching staff out-schemes Auburn's coaching staff. And as good at times as Auburn's staff has been in the past, I certainly believe that Coach Dan Mullen and Hevesy have a game plan that'll help us win.
Oh, that's a great point, man. That's what I told him today. I said when you check criteria for a game, you look at quarterback, you look at coach,
right?
You look at home field, and the Florida Gators got an advantage in all three. I mean, I like our quarterback better than our quarterback. I just think contrast accuracy. I just think the ability to be able to throw the ball. I'm not sure this bonus kid can throw the ball when he has to. I think Carl Trask throw it when he wants to, when he has to. I mean, this guy. I mean, I ain't gonna say I feel like a fool because but I just really hate that I missed on Carl Trask's talent. I mean, I just really, man. As much as I've been pumping Felipe, man, this guy. I know it's just a couple games, and he can fall on his ass tomorrow and look like the worst quarterback in the world. But just the way he just distributes the ball, man. That's what I like, man.
Right.
You just got multiple guys catching the ball. You never know who's going to touch the ball. I mean, you can't key in on one guy. I mean, and to me, Kyle Pitts is the biggest master up on both sides of the ball for either team. I mean, them trying to figure out a way to stop Kyle Pitts is more of a headache for their coaching staff than anything for the Florida Gators trying to stop. Because Anthony Schwartz,
right.
You get a hand on him, you can bring him down. You get a hand on Kyle Pitts, you better get 2 or 3 more hats with you. I mean, this guy's an animal. And all our receivers are like that. Yards after the catch are really what we do. I mean, I'm not worried about the run game because, like you said, Dan Mullen as a play caller. I mean, the last time we went up against great defensive linemen and they called our offensive line soft after the Kentucky game last year, Dan Mullen schemed their ass up, dialed them up, cut them up. Their defensive line never didn't even have an impact. Talking about Montez Sweat and Jeffries. So, two of the best defensive linemen ever come to the SEC. So, if Dan Mullen neutralized them boys, I'm pretty sure he neutralized these guys. And with Kyle Trask's accuracy, I think it's going to be a long day for Auburn because their defense don't really turn nobody over. I think they got 5 turnovers on the year. Florida defense will turn you over. And again, at home, you seen the environment last year with LSU came to town. Expect the same thing with Auburn, especially with college game day coming. I mean, everybody's thirsty for the Mullenade.
Yeah.
I just can't see Florida losing this game at home, and it ain't because they're at home, just because the talent, the coaching, and everything points towards Florida, regardless of what recruiting says.
Right. Well, Lance, I think it's going to be an even bigger game than the LSU game last year for multiple reasons. Number one, it's a top 10 matchup. Number two, it's a matchup between 2 teams that haven't played each other in a while, so there is intrigue for that game. A lot of fans that would say, "Oh, I've seen an LSU Florida game before." A lot of fans have never actually been in the swamp for a Florida Auburn game, so that's definitely intriguing. And obviously, number 3, this game has a lot predicating on it when it comes to the college football playoff race and leading into that, the SEC championship race. I mean, Auburn, LSU, and Alabama think they all have a case to be the best team in the country. And, Auburn's looking to cement their case. But I believe in the same note, I believe Florida, if Florida wins this game, they'll be able to cement their case on why they should be considered one of the best teams in the country. And right now, guys like you and I can say that we think the Gators deserve more credit for how great they've been on defense, even though they haven't been stellar and they've given us some drives. You know, when people look at the stats in a football game, nobody really, at the end of the day, no one really cares about time of possession or how long your defense was on the field.
Yeah.
All people care about is the score.
Yeah.
And if teams aren't scoring on us, then that has to be a meaningful thought. At the same time, both Kentucky and Miami have they both scored 20 on us. And the other teams that have played us have been two cupcake FCS schools, and then a third cupcake in Tennessee, which is clearly probably the worst team in the SEC, and maybe even one of the bottom 50 in the country. So I can't get too excited about how our defense played against those teams. At the same time, when you see talents like David Reese and Jonathan Grenard, along with C.J. Henderson, who's going to be back from injury, there's a lot of promise. And of course, Zuniga. There's a lot of promise with this defense coming back. So I'm really hoping that we can really stifle the opponent's offense. I really believe that we're going to have a pass rush that hasn't been seen by Bo Nix, and I think it's going to be a good defensive game.
I don't think there's going to be much chance for pass rushes. I believe Auburn's going to want to run the ball. I think their play selection is going to be 60% run. I mean, they're really going to test you well. I mean, Auburn's a run team, and they run a lot of different ways. So your gap integrity is really important in this game. And
I agree to that.
I would agree with you. But if you're just talking about third and long, lining up 10 years back, yeah, we got some guys that can get there. I agree with you there. We know Target's can dial it up. But you said a bigger game than LSU. I definitely agree that. I was just referring to the crowd noise and the because it's really the only game last year that the swamp was the swamp. But
right.
What I was going to say is, I said earlier, this is the biggest game of the damn moment era. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this is why he came to Florida, coaching these kind of games. I mean, he's looking at shots right now. I mean, you just don't win it. You don't get these kind of games at Mississippi State, and if you do, you probably ain't got the talent to win. Even though he did beat them 2 out of 4 his last 5 years down there. So he's had success against him when he's had a quarterback, and I think Kyle Trask is you just ain't got to do much. Just get rid of football, man. Just get rid of football. He's doing that. Just let our guys get the yak. Don't worry about the run game. The run game, if I'm just not sure that we ran the ball creative enough. I think we've kind of just been very vanilla. Because again, I think this is the game we've had circled. I mean, the other teams you could pretty much just. You don't take nobody for granted, but you used to win those games unless you beat yourself. And granted, we almost beat ourselves twice. We tried to beat ourselves against Tennessee. They just wouldn't have it. They just wouldn't take it from us. But I think Florida's mental focus on this game right here and the chance to seize the moment. I mean, you've been on the big stage earlier this year. You choked. I just think you're gonna see a focused Florida Gator team really just gonna. I just don't see a lot of talent on Auburn. I know their record, but really, they played the Oregon. I mean, Oregon's no more for their uniforms than their football. I mean, let's just be honest, man. They ain't been the same since Chip Kelly left. I mean, that's just the truth. They're not the same team. I mean, and who else? Look at Texas A&M on the road. I mean, Texas A&M. I mean, they're getting a lot of hop off their coach. What he did at Florida State ain't got a damn thing to do with what he did at Texas A&M. I mean, you really don't have a quarterback yet. I mean, that's just bottom line. You're only as good as your quarterback in the SEC. If you don't believe it, just ask the Florida Gators.
Well, hey, Lance, since you have me on, I definitely want to talk about the quarterback matchup.
Yo, talk about it. What do you see from? Have you studied Auburn quarterback at all?
Yeah, I've studied them a little bit. I'm not gonna. I may watch a little bit of film later on tonight, but honestly, from what I've seen with Bo Nix, I saw a little bit of highlights from the game against Mississippi State. I think he has a talent. I think he has a very big upside. I think 2, 3 years down the line, he'll probably be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. At the same time, he's still a freshman, and he's still making freshman mistakes. I mean, if you look at the game progression of the Mississippi State game, Auburn was well in the lead um, by pretty much toward the beginning of the game. It was 21-0 pretty quickly.
Whoa.
At that point in the game, Nix is not going to see the same type of defense as he'll see in a game that is a lot more neck and neck and has a stronger defensive line.
I think.
Now, Florida, what are you trying to say?
Let me say this. I mean, to me, I mean, this game. I mean, Auburn's like Florida was with Franks. You get up,
Right.
you get up 2 scores. You really put the play caller in, and you really handcuff him because he's really. I mean, you ask him to do something that's really not their strength, and that's the deal with Auburn. If we can get up on these boys 14-0, I really think you can see us put the throat down because it really messed Gus Malzahn up as a play caller.
Right.
They want to run the ball. I think if you make the guys
So-
have to throw it, I think you're going to see a blowout for the Florida Gators, and I think Dan Mullen knows that, and I think Tar Grantham knows that. So really important that our offense comes out sharp tomorrow and execute because we really got to put our defense up, and because again if you jump up on
Right.
two scores, I really think Auburn be in trouble from a personnel standpoint, trying to come back from that on the road or anywhere, and just throwing the ball ain't their strength at all. And I think Bo needs to struggle mightily if we know he's going to have to throw it against the kind of talent we have back there.
I think they're going to be very creative with the run. I think Auburn's going to be creative with the run. I think it's going to be very important for us to be gap savvy, for us to stay in our lanes, for us to be able to not get too cute with the arm tackling. You know, we need to be very savvy with our tackles in this game. I think for 4 quarters we need to be going all out with the tackles. I wouldn't even complain about late hit penalties if that meant that the team was being going all out in their tackles. I know that sometimes people get caught up in that. You know, something that I really want to lock in on, and this is kind of the main thing I wanted to discuss with you today, or tonight I should say, is Kyle Trask and how he's going to do under pressure. Because I promise you, this Auburn defensive line is going to pressure Kyle Trask. And unfortunately, as even with some improvement from the offensive line, it's gonna. I just don't see a scenario playing out where Kyle Trask does not get some kind of pressure from Auburn. And so the question is he going to be able to make the same quality decisions when he's under pressure? Because the last few games where we've seen him under pressure, what has he done? He's fumbled the ball. He's made poor ball security decisions when under pressure. At the same time, I know that Coach Johnson and Coach Dan Mullen is coaching the heck out of him to make sure that he's making right decisions with the ball when he's under pressure. You know, a sack is better than a fumble. A sack is better than an interception. I'm okay with sacks if it allows us to get to next play, because guess what? If Auburn gets pressure and they do not see positive results, if they keep pressuring, then we might be able to throw it over the top. And if they don't get positive results from pressuring, if Kyle Trask makes smart decisions, then maybe they won't pressure in other plays, and that'll open up other things. Well, again, as Dan Mullen likes to speak to it and as football is traditionally called, it is a chess match. And I'm excited to see the chess match between Dan Mullen and the defensive coordinator from Auburn.
Yeah, Kevin Steele's one of the best. I'm pretty sure Kevin Steele's
absolutely.
And that's where I think it reminds me of the Mississippi State game. Them defense line, nobody thought we was going to be able to block them. Our offensive line was, and Dan Mullen just neutralized it with his play calling. And again, I think we got the same kind of talent outside. Carl Pitts, again, it's the key.
Well,
I mean, he's your heart rate. I mean, you don't. I mean, I ain't saying you throw it to him no matter what. I mean, but over the middle, I mean, you're really setting yourself up for You better
Yeah.
get. I'll say that you better get there if you're Auburn, because I mean we got some guys. I mean whether it's Jefferson, Grimes, Swain, Hammond.
Right.
I mean Copeland when he catches the ball. Kyle Pitts. I mean these guys ain't want to.
Yeah.
These guys ain't want to leave on an island, man. I mean they can. I mean
Yeah.
again, you take 5-yard routes to the house. I mean to me the secondary that tackles the best is going to win the game because. You don't have to have your secondary come up and support the run if you're the Florida Gators. And if you're Sean Davis, Brad Stewart, Steiner, and them boys, and you're missing tackles, that's going to lead to touchdowns. Because Anthony Schwartz has got speed to burn, and you're going to see a lot of Anthony Schwartz on jet sweeps coming off the edge.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised if Auburn ain't trying to do a little trick plays off that stuff because you know they will. Gus Malzahn's, you know, he wears a visor. You know, he's coming in there with something to prove. I mean, they're pretty upset about being scheduled as homecoming. He said, ask me how I feel about it after the game. So, you know, he's dying to rub this in on Gator Nation and Dan Mullen. But I just can't see. I mean, you make a great point. If they get the pressure and contracts come in the season, yeah, we're in trouble. But I really just think Dan Mullen keep it simple for him and. You know, you just giving good throws, quick throws. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of 5, 7 step drops. You're gonna see a lot of 3-step, get it out. I mean, my buddy last caller, Jason, was talking about the swing pass. You know, use it to get you some run game going, like you get against LSU a little bit. You know,
For sure.
And you really ain't seen a traditional quarterback run that you see from a Dan Mullen offense either.
Right.
So, there's a lot to be uncovered with our offense too, as we've been very vanilla. Because we ain't had to show nothing, and you know how to you don't put it out on tape. You don't have to.
Yeah, Lance. Well, I want you to think about something. There's a stat that was on ESPN a little bit earlier, and it said this. It said that Kyle Trask has a QBR of 95.3 when he's not under pressure, and he has a QBR of 3.5 when he is under pressure.
Well,
that drop off.
Well, think about this
the two is the greatest drop off in.
Well, think about this though, Dawson. Think about the situation. I mean, you beat Tennessee 30. What was it? 34 to 3, 38 to 3.
Right.
You beat the last game. You start 38 to nothing. I mean, when you do get pressure, it's like damn. You ain't expecting it. I mean, when you're in a game that's tight. You know every play matters. I think you'll see a more sharper Kyle Trask. But you know when you're up 21-0, you see pressure like, oh shit. I mean you ain't really. I mean, does that make sense to you at all? I mean, if it was tight games and his QBR was that low, I'd be worried. But in blowouts, I'm not surprised that the kid just. I mean, it's kind of like it's almost like. I mean, it's like I like to shoot, man. It's kind of like hot check. Let's see how hot I am. Fuck it, throw it. You know,
right.
I mean, now the ball security. Definitely an issue. Got to clean that up. But as far as the QBR under pressure, I just think the pressure's so few and far in between that you just I mean, you're so ahead in the game by the time he's seeing this pressure that I mean, it's just I don't know. It just kind of feels like a meaningless stat. We'll know more about Kyle Trask under pressure after this game when you know you got to be locked in for 4 quarters. Every play matters. I mean, Florida. I mean, it's hard to just take Tennessee and Kentucky lightly for real. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Kentucky is Kentucky. I don't give a damn what anybody says. We're all human. I mean, if we, I mean, I know they had one good year, but they lost all the time. There's no Florida. I mean, it's the mindset's so important in college football. And I think I just really feel sorry for anybody that steps into the swamp Saturday.
Yeah,
it's great debate all day. I just don't think Auburn's really that talented. I mean, I know they got some defensive linemen that are going to be high NFL picks and probably have some good college careers, but I don't see talent all across the board. I mean, they got a couple linemen, but I ain't sure they can match up outside with what we got. So, I mean, 3-step drops, quick slants, Kyle Pitts, halfback pass. I really neutralize anything they got up front because I don't think their linebackers are very good, and I don't think their secondary is very good. If you can get past the defensive line, I really think you have a field day. I just kind of feel like Florida's going to blow this out. I mean, this is the same Auburn team that lost Tennessee last year. I mean, they ain't breaking nothing. They didn't get nothing significant to make this team better. I mean, really, we're a product of their schedule, and you can say the same thing about us.
He hung up.
All right, man. Wrapping it up. Lance and Jasper bringing it down wisely. Quarterback. Drop the call. Yeah, man, I'm be surprised if Florida don't blow this thing out, but I was sick of my first thought, and that was 24-16. So, hey, man, sorry about that, my friend White.
Hey, I lost you, man. Sorry about
It's
that.
all well. But yeah, well, give me your final thoughts and we'll wrap it up here. But I really appreciate you calling in, man. You're loyal, man. You're hell of a man. You know what the best thing about you is, though?
Yes, sir.
You're a Gator. Nah.
Go Gators.
I always say about Tim. I always ask people all the time. You know what the best thing about Tim Tebow is? And everybody just think, and I say he's a Gator. Shit. Hey man.
Yeah.
What kind of score are you thinking? I feel like it's gonna be a tight game. 17-16. Florida scores like 24-16 Gators. What are you thinking?
Man, it's kind of been a hard one to think of a score. I've been anywhere between 20 to 23 to 20 to 13. Right now, it's hard. Right now, I'm thinking 27 Gators and 20 Auburn. But that'll probably change before the game on Saturday. It's a hard one.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, my score really came to me on Sunday. When I was breaking it down. But I don't know if I'm just getting excited or what. But I'm kind of getting a feeling like Florida blow them out. I felt like it's no news to blow out Tennessee, but I thought we'd beat Tennessee 41-0. They scored 3. I don't know. I just feel like our defense took some things personal after that Kentucky game, and we ain't even been full strength. Yeah. And to get a couple key veterans back in this game, really just I don't know. I really just kind of feel like Florida could blow this thing out, man. I really feel like you see me. Yeah, I won't predict it, but I got kind of feeling Florida shock the world. Really are.
Man, if we blow it out, if we blow them out, man, that'll be Saturday. Will literally be the best night ever in the history of Gainesville since the national championship in basketball.
I just don't see how they're going to score a bunch of points unless they can run the ball, man. I always said our run defense was the one thing I questioned coming into the season. So
right.
I just don't see how they're gonna score a bunch of points, man. Unless they're, really just run it down our throats and wear us down. I just don't. I don't.
Right.
I just don't.
Well, hey, man, it's gonna be a big game.
Yeah.
So what's your score again?
You going to the game? 24-16. Got to score late.
44-16.
No, 20,
wow.
24.
24-16?
Yeah. I think it'd be tight in the fourth quarter.
Say, if you're 44-16,
I
you better put money on that one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You might get a lot if it happens.
I wouldn't be surprised, but no, I really think it's tight. 1 point game in the fourth quarter. Got to score late, make it 24-16. Pull away. Really gonna be a hell of a game. But man, you going to the game?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, man, you gotta give us a call after the game when you get settled in, no matter what time. Hit us up. We're looking for you.
Hey,
we're looking for you, man.
Yeah, hopefully you're calling into a celebration.
We don't hope around here, man. We put in the work. You put in the work, you get the job done, man. It's all Gator Saturday, but the rest of the country will have to learn more about that on Saturday, man.
Hey, man. Again, Lance, you know what the most important stat in this game is?
The win, baby.
The scoreboard. Yeah, hey, if we win 3-2 or 35-24, I don't care. If it's a win, it's a win.
I agree with you 100%. Go Gators, man.
Go Gators.
Yeah, Lance and Jasper signing off with you. Good stuff right there tonight. But we'll see you Saturday after the game. Don't be scared to call in. Call your Auburn friends, family. 423-509-7007.